Okay, Instagram Live. So excited. Today is going to be all about the fascial lines and the core. So get yourself ready. We're going to use a couple of props today. I'm going to be using the red band. I need a green band too. Oops, let's get the green band. All right. I'm going to be using the red band, the red resistance loop, or you might call it a super band. I'm going to be using the mini loop here, and also a ball. Now you can use any size ball you want. Lisa Leiter, hi. Chester. Excellent. All right, so get ready. We're going to start in just a moment. So this is really a core-centric workout, working on those stabilizing slings. So we're going to be working on those myofascial long chain slings. This is awesome today. It's really a good one. Looking forward to having all of you here. Okay, it's 12 o'clock. We're going to get started. So I'm going to be doing 4 exercises using each of the myofascial global stabilizing slings, 4 standing exercises, and then 4 on the mat. So we're going to start with standing, and you don't need any equipment for the first one. So the first thing that we're going to do is work on the anterior oblique sling. So what do I mean by that? So it's your oblique through the abdominal fascia into the adductor or the inner thigh on the other side. So you can even kind of trace that with your hand. Trace that. Also on this side, so of course we're symmetrical. So the obliques go into the external, goes into the internal oblique, goes into the inner thigh. So if you start with your hands here, and you just start by marching with an oblique twist, okay? Twist. I want you to keep your head facing forward. Now, as you're doing this, what I want you to do is start to think about, can you feel your oblique into your inner thigh? Can you feel that? Okay, and why would you want to strengthen these continuities? Because they're your global stabilizing slings. They're important for everything that you do. Now, if it's too difficult for you to have your arms up in that position, you can go here. But we're just gonna do this. And I want you to think about, as you're lifting your leg and you're pulling it across, think about that oblique to inner thigh. And it's gonna make you feel a lot more stable as you connect the dots. So think about you're working within this design, the own architecture of your own body. That's what we're doing here. We're really working on our individual design, right? The humans are made to have all of these continuities. Why not work with them? Let's do this for another 15 seconds. So this is our anterior oblique sling, our myofascial long chain. And we're working on that right now, connecting the dots, really facilitating great stability through that. And again, last set. And relax. Okay, the next one we're going to work on is the lateral line. So you need your lateral line to be strong so you can stand on one leg, also in gait as transferring weight from one leg to the other. So grab your green mini loop, and I want you to place this mini loop above your knees, okay? So if you need to hold on for balance, go ahead. Otherwise, just place that mini loop right above your knees. And you can do all of these exercises without the tools, but I just thought that we'd want to add that resistance, right? So now I'm going to come into a quarter squat position, which is just a little bit of a hinge pattern here with my knees bent. Now, to work the lateral line of the body, we're going to press out and in. Now, you can do one of 2 things here. You can just press straight out to the side in an abduction. Okay, that's what we're going to do for the first 15 seconds, and then I'm going to show you how you can change that, okay? So pushing out and in. So when I talked about it being core-centric today, this whole workout, what's the core? It's defined as the mid of the collarbone all the way to the mid-thigh. So all of these muscles, so we're working into our glute muscles right now, our abductors. Okay, now I want you to, instead of just pressing out to the side, start to rotate. Now you're not rotating your pelvis, you're rotating your femur, your leg bone, and you're getting that rotation. So you're working through those lateral rotators. So again, that whole lateral line, working on great core stability. Now, if you needed to hold on to something, you could, because this is a lot of balance work as well. So what did we talk about last week? We talked about balance, right? So a lot of our exercises are requiring really solid balance. Let's do 2 more of these. And now, relax for a moment on that side. Let's get into the quarter squat position and focus on the opposite side now. So the first thing I want you to do is keep that core control through the center and just press out and in. Okay, so we're working on that lateral line. So we're going to do all 4 of the main global stabilizing slings today, out and in. We've already did our anterior. We're now in our lateral. out and in. We're doing this for 15 seconds, and then we're gonna add that rotation. So let's add that rotation now. So now this is femur rotation with a stable pelvis, right? So we're trying to isolate that leg bone right in the socket. Excellent. Good. Okay, you're feeling those, right? And you feel the balance work. So you are still loading your lateral line on the opposite side for balance. Do this again. You've got another 5 seconds. You're feeling the work. Again, you can do these exercises without the band. It just obviously is a little bit harder with the band, right? A little bit more challenging on the resistance. Last one, and then take a break. Okay, that's our anterior oblique and our lateral. Take the band away. And the next one we're gonna do is gonna focus on we're using the red resistance, we'll focus on the posterior oblique sling. So we did the anterior. The posterior oblique sling goes from your lat on one side to your glute on the other via the thoracolumbar fascia. So it's a cross pattern here, utilized in gait. We're gonna take this band and we're gonna take it and put it on one foot. So whatever foot it's on, right here, you put it over that shoulder to get to the other shoulder. Okay, so it's on this foot, but it's over the shoulder to get to the other shoulder. Okay, you can again do this without the band. Now, start with a quarter squat position. Now the band has a lot of its own life to it, right? Elasticity to it. What I want you to do is place your hands out like a front squat position. Inhale, grow into that band. Really, so feel the elongation with the inhale. Exhale, come down. So press the ground away from you as you inhale, stand up. Exhale, come down. So use that inhalation to act as a hydraulic amplification. Exhale, come down. Good. So you're really feeling that expansion to help with your stability. Inhale, kind of working that band's resistance with your inhalation, which is that really nice expansion. Exhale, down. So this is not the sling yet. We're just setting it up. Now, what I want you to do this time is as you stand up, I want you to kick your leg back. Kick your leg back. Now I'm pushing back on that banded leg and I'm getting that glute activation. Put your hand on your opposite side where your lat is and see if you can feel that co-contraction via that sling. Can you feel it? You might not. Don't feel badly if you don't. Sometimes you're not as aware on one side as compared to the other. Now let's add the lat component to that. Glute to lat, right? Take your thumb, put it inside the band. Now, what does the lat do? Let's just show without it. Turns the arm bone in, goes into adduction, right? And also it's going to go into extension. So we're going to turn that arm bone with the band in. Now, as you do that, you may even feel, if you put your hand on your glute, you may feel some co-contraction with the glute. Now we're going to put that together. So it's that opposite lat to glute. And we're kicking back, kicking back, kicking back. Now, what also happens is, what do you want to do? Yeah, you want to rotate, right? Rotation is a big part of this. Going right through that thoracolumbar fascia. Inhale, exhale. Exhale, nice dynamic action. How are you feeling the lat to glute? One more. And then take that band away and just notice how your body feels. See if you can kind of sense that pathway, that map, right, of that sling in the back of your body. Okay, let's do the other side. So step on the band with the other foot. Put it over that shoulder to get to your other shoulder. Okay, now you've got this cross pattern. Now notice how you feel when you have that band just there by itself. It's applying tension. It's almost like additional gravitational forces on your body, right? So we have to work with inside of that gravitational force. How are we best going to do that? Come into your squat. Use your breath. Inhale, expand from the ground up. Exhale. That's it. Notice how powerful that breath can be as you inhale and expand your body and then exhale down. Inhale, expand upwardly, exhale down. Inhale, pushing into that foot, pushing into that opposite shoulder and creating that sort of map in your body of that diagonal crossover. Let's do one more like that. Inhale, exhale, come down. Now, kick back, start to activate the glute and feel on the other side if you can sense the co-contraction. And maybe on this side you feel it and you didn't on the other, or vice versa. That often happens because we have a dominant side. All right, now, what do you do with the lat? The lat does what? It turns the arm bone in, adduction, extension, rotation, right? So we're gonna pull back with the band. At the same time, you're gonna kick back with the leg. Kick, kick. And what do you wanna do? Yeah, you wanna rotate, don't you? That's all part of the gait patterning. That's it. See if you can feel that cross pattern. Excellent. Press it back. press it back. How are we doing? Everybody okay? I haven't seen too much action in the past couple of seconds. Pull it back. That's because you're all focusing on this, aren't you? I'm so glad. Back, good. Back, 2 more. Back, 1 more. Yes, and then take that band off. Now, just see if you can sense how the back line of the body, that X pattern, see if you feel it. See if you can feel more dynamically stable or just more aware, right? That's probably a big part of it is, are you feeling more aware? Now, how might we get into the 4th of the slings today, which is the posterior deep longitudinal line? We're gonna do that with our red band once again. And again, you can do this without the resistance. We're gonna hold the band in this long position, doubled up, and stand on it with our 2 feet. So I'm gonna stand on the band with my 2 feet, and then I'm gonna hold the ends of the band like this. Can you see what I'm doing? Okay, see that? Now, what we wanna do is a deadlift or a hinge pattern. So I'm gonna keep a nice strong neutral spine, and I'm gonna hinge at my hip joint. And what I'm doing when I do this is I'm loading the back line of the body, and then I'm gonna stand up. So I'm gonna slowly load the back line in that hinge pattern, feel that tensional quality, and then pull up. So this is minimal knee and ankle flexion with maximal hip flexion and pull up. Slowly go over and then pull up. So you're loading that line and then activating it when you come up. Loading the line and activating. So this is primarily that lower part, and then the spinal muscles are also working for stabilization. Inhale, exhale. Okay, relax. All right, we're going on to the mat. So let's see if you can see me okay. I'll ask Laura, who's with me today, if she can see me once I get down to the mat. So let me know if you can see. Okay, we're gonna go into our red banded exercise. Okay, so we're gonna use the red band. Okay, the red band is gonna go on my right foot. Okay, this is the soccer kick, and my right hand. So I put my hand right inside the band. Then I'm gonna lie down on my back with that leg long, and then I'm just gonna put the band under my arm so I can stabilize that, okay? The other leg is out to the side, that leg is long. Now, put your hand on your oblique on that opposite side of the banded leg and kick across your body, kick across. Can you feel that oblique activation with that adductor? It's pretty powerful. Okay, so now we're gonna add that oblique connection with that inner thigh. The hand goes behind your head. You're gonna come into that flexion and rotation. So that's your oblique crunch. Adding the adductor kick. Now you should feel, as I was saying before, that map, right? That oblique to inner thigh activation. This is a soccer kick, so you've got that inner ankle kicking across the midline. Also remember that your other foot has to be wide enough that you have room to kick across. Okay, 1 more like that, and then relax that. Okay, you would do the same thing on the other side, but for time's sake, I'm gonna just switch to the next exercise because I promised to show you all 4 exercises. Let's go into the glute exercise. You're gonna need here the ball and the band, okay? First thing you're gonna do is you're gonna put your foot, just one foot, in the band, right at the arch of your foot. Then you're gonna have the band just be here at your hand with your knee on the inside of it, okay? Now the glute part is gonna be a kick up, okay? Just a kicking up sensation. That's the glute part. The opposite lat part, I'm gonna turn so you can see me. The opposite lat part is my arm is here, the ball is on my outside of my hip, and I roll the ball across my back. While I do what? Kick, kick. Now you've got that glute to lat connection, kick. And you've got the band providing a little bit of proprioception and also resistance. Kick it up, okay? So you're working again, that posterior oblique sling, and then you can relax. Again, we won't do the other side because we have 2 more exercises left. So make sure you're doing both sides because you want to be sure you're getting all of that, okay? Now, the next one is a side plank. So we were to work that lateral line standing. Remember, we did all that abduction work. So now in the lateral line, we're going to be working with our ball. Well, let's do it without the ball. You'll see. Okay, you can do it with the ball, but let's do it without the ball. I'll show it without the ball, and then I'll show you another version with the ball. So we're going to come down into a forearm plank. I'm going to have my 2 legs extended out long with my top leg in front. My arm here is slightly rotated laterally so that I can push through that arm and lift myself into a plank. So this is our lateral line, okay, the side body line. Come up into the plank. Now you can have your hand down, have it here, or have it here. Now, this is called plank bridging. You're gonna take your pelvis, lower it toward the mat, and then I want you to press it up. So think of it as a push but a pull. So you're pushing from the underside and you're pulling, okay? So get that push and pull feel. The hand can be on the hip again. It can be up in the air, or it can be down on the floor. You're really working those lateral lines, both in abduction and adduction. Okay, 2 more. Feeling that now. Last one, and then relax. Again, you can do the same thing on the other side, but I'm going to show you first another way to do that with the ball that will make it a little bit easier. So now you have to have a 12-inch ball. The reason for that is you don't want to hurt your shoulder. The 12-inch ball is just the right height for my arm bone length, okay? Now I'm going to hold myself on the ball, but then pull up away from the ball and down. Up away from the ball and down. So I kind of leave the ball without letting it go and then go back down. Same idea, but a lot less aggressive for somebody who might not have the capability yet. Perhaps you don't have the strength yet to hold your full plank. Okay, so that's that. The last exercise is for that posterior longitudinal sling, that whole posterior chain of the body, which is your posture line. Really important. So we're going to take the band. Actually, let's do it without any resistance again, in case you don't have any. So you're lying face down. Okay? Now, I'm going to have my head down. My legs can either be parallel or turned out, doesn't matter. And everything is going to lift off the mat, your arms and your legs. So all limbs are going to lift up. So before you lift, squeeze above your kneecaps, and then lift everything off the mat. Careful not to look up. Make sure you're sort of looking just at your mat. Hold that isometric contraction, really reach through those arms and legs. Have the sensation that your legs are really reaching. You're kind of pulling that leg bone right out of the socket. You're reaching, and then lower back down. Do that for 10 seconds. So everybody ready? Squeeze above your kneecaps so everything is strong, and then elongate that body and reach out. Stay up there for 10 seconds. Breathe. And once you finish the 10 seconds, relax all the way down, and you could do that for 3 rounds or so. Come back up, and let's just get a little stretch here. Sitting back on the heels, getting a nice shell stretch. Scoop through the abs, inhale. Exhale, and articulate your spine to come up to straight. Okay, everybody, that was a lot of material in a short period of time. Luckily, it's on video, right, so you can watch it. But also know that you can get a 7-day free trial on PJ On Demand. So PJ Eau Claire On Demand, check it out. 7 days for free. All right, thanks for coming, everybody.